I had been working with a personal coach to figure out where I wanted to go with my next career move. And I think as part of that, I came across Ilana's site when I was looking at different leadership organizations and how I could grow. And so her video came up and I went to her webinar and listened to her course and what she did to help people kind of look at how they could grow their career. It resonated with me. I felt like she was really sincere in wanting to help people, but I also felt like her story was similar to mine in how she wanted to grow and what she was looking to do in her career space. So for me, I was trying to figure out how do I go to the next level, but also how do I get into an area where I can at one point in time have really good balance in my life and be able to still do something meaningful to me and help drive impact in the world and guide people through their journey. I was really shocked by, one, the caliber and the level of people that were engaged, but also the way in which it really pushed you and made you think a little bit outside the box about yourself, your achievements, what you could do, and how you really presented yourself. So I was going through interviews, and when I went through the lessons that Ilana had in the foundation course, I really felt like the LEAP program was being very targeted and specific, and it was at the same time so impactful on how you could actually position yourself in a way that made a difference in what people perceived of you and how you were able to really gain traction and figure out what you really wanted to do. It really helped you hone in and look at things differently. So I actually changed careers and moved into a different role, but more than that, I feel like I gained also the ability to continue my journey and the tools that are going to help me get to where I hope to be eventually in the next leap and the next leap, but also the network. The network is amazing. So many people from different walks of life that I would have never been able to meet, different industries, entrepreneurs to corporate America to educational organizations that really started showing you how we're all in this together to help. And it was just a community that was supportive, but also gave me those tools and those skills to really keep going forward. I wasn't finished yet. I really felt like I still needed more work, and I also know myself well enough to know that if I stopped now, I would inundate myself with where I was and I would become consumed with that versus staying on my path to really get to that next step and executing on the goals that I had originally laid out. So I wanted to keep going and I wanted to continue my journey in how I can grow, how I can build, and how I can help others. So it's about having that extra impact, but also just that guidance that I really feel like pushes you a little bit outside your comfort zone in a very good way. I would say some of the skills that I picked up are just understanding how to communicate about what I want better, but also helping others really think about themselves differently. I think a lot of times we as individuals, we don't necessarily always see ourselves as maybe being as good as we really are, or what we can do. How do we use skills in different industries? How do we translate those skills into something meaningful? And I think that was one of the things that I really gained, is looking at it from that perspective of how there are so many things that we do every single day, no matter what industry we work in, that translates into an impact and value to different organizations. And it's all about that positioning and how you see yourselves and how you really are able to provide a positive spin and mindset to what you're really looking to achieve. The community is fantastic. One of the best I've ever been a part of. I'm in a couple of leadership organizations. One is a women's group. This is definitely exciting because it goes outside of just a gender designation. But what I will say is that so helpful, kind, and truly invested in everybody. I know that I personally had many one-on-one conversations with my peers and with those in the organization, just to push each other, or just sometimes to give support or an idea of how we could continue pushing forward. And it's just amazing. It's amazing to be a part of. Ilana, Sue, Natasha, the whole entire team truly care about every individual. And I would say one of the best things is that it goes back to my first impression, that this is not just something because I want to make money. It is because they truly care about how can they help others reach their goals and objectives. And so the kindness, the leadership, and also kind of saying, you know, I don't really think that that's true. You need to think about it differently. Pushing you has been phenomenal and one of the best I've ever experienced. The one thing I've learned in my career and my life is that it's not about just the first thing. If you go out and you play one ball game, you're not going to actually end up having as much joy out of it. And so I think it's the same thing here. If you continue to build your network, you continue to hone in your skills, you become a better leader, you find better balance, you find maybe that better financial situation that you're looking for, but also you're really able to continue growing and continue to build your leadership skills in a way that is going to bring you satisfaction and joy, but also enhance your life personally and professionally. So the reason I did it is because I wasn't finished. And I think that if you're there just looking at, oh my gosh, I'm in a miserable situation, I want to get out of it, that's not how you should look at this program. You should look at how I'm going to change my life. Just like you would on a physical fitness program or a wellness program, this is a life-changing event that you're really looking to grow and shape who you become and what impact you can give to the world. Before the program, I was unsure. I was unsure of where I should go, what I should look, was I a good leader? Maybe I thought I was, but I really needed to work more than I thought. And after the program, what I realized is that I have a lot of skills that I didn't even think were maybe necessarily valuable skills in the marketplace until I really talked through them. So I would say after, I'm more confident, but not only that, I'm more sure of myself in how I position my leadership abilities, my skills, my experience in a way that's meaningful and not necessarily just within one industry. So really thinking about how I can impact other industries, other areas, from anything from a startup organization all the way to corporate America, entrepreneur, and being more creative in how I use those skills. First of all, you have to be ready for it. And you have to really be confident that it's okay to be uncomfortable, because it's going to make you uncomfortable during certain stages. But if you're not ready to be uncomfortable, you're not going to achieve what you want to do. And that's what this program is about. It's getting you uncomfortable, but also making you think about yourself so differently. And what you would get out of this program is so much more than what the dollar amount is. The investment in the network, the community, the education, and just the mindset shift that you get out of it is way far exceeds anything that you would expect in other organizations. I have not only changed roles, but I have a higher salary and better income. I have an environment that is healthy and it is supportive, and the culture that I was able to find, which is something that I really didn't weigh in until Natasha and Sue and Ilana said, wait, let's think about this in all aspects of what you really want to achieve and what your must-haves are versus just the number and the dollar sign that was on the paper. All of them happen to be very positive, but what I've realized is that you really have to think of when you go into an organization, where are you running to versus where are you running from? And I think that's a huge impact that this program can make for you.